I have never seen such arrogant murderers. After killing the man, they openly dragged the body to a roadside bench, posed it properly, put sunglasses on it, just to challenge the authority of the police. But they would never expect, this time they messed with the wrong person. Soon, Neeson received the news of his son's death. Looking at his son's body, his wife was heartbroken. Based on the forensic examination the police said his son died from excessive milk powder consumption, but Neeson thought otherwise. He knew his son very well. He would never touch that kind of thing. But with the evidence right in front of them, the police simply didn't believe Neeson, which also meant the case would not be investigated further. This made Neeson's wife break down instantly. She blamed all the tragedy on Neeson, believing it was his neglect of their son that led to such an outcome. After their son's funeral, the wife left Neeson without hesitation. The broken family plunged Neeson into despair. Just as he took out his shotgun, his son's colleague suddenly showed up, telling him there was more to the story. It turned out a few days ago, this colleague had stolen a bag of milk powder from a gang, and soon faced fierce retaliations. On the night of the incident, Neeson's son was also working overtime. Both were kidnapped by the gang. They forced Neeson's son to consume a large amount of milk powder. The colleague took advantage of the chaos and jumped out of the car, narrowly escaping. Learning the truth, Neeson was furious. He quickly asked about the killer's whereabouts, then went to the tool shed. He carefully sawed off the shotgun barrel, removed the excess stock. A stealth sniper rifle was now modified. Following the clues he obtained, Neeson went to the bridal shop where the killer was hiding, determined to avenge his son personally. But the cautious killer immediately sensed trouble, so he lied about getting a measuring tape and pulled out a gun. But little did he expect. At this point, any resistance would be useless. What awaited him was brutal interrogation, because Neeson knew clearly, the ones who killed his son couldn't be just this one man. Facing the threat of death, the man had to give up his accomplice. After getting the information he wanted, Neeson simply turned and left. The killer thought he was spared, but Neeson just didn't want to dirty his clothes. After dealing with the killer, Neeson tightly bound the body with wire mesh and threw it into the river. This way it would avoid being found, while letting the fish destroy the evidence perfectly. Later, Neeson followed the clues provided by the killer and found his accomplice. Seeing the other drive away, Neeson immediately started the snowplow and followed closely, blocking him at an intersection, then pretended to ask for directions, while the other let his guard down. Unexpectedly, this guy was tougher than stone. Beaten half to death, he still refused to reveal the mastermind. Neeson couldn't be bothered to waste words, directly pulled out his modified sniper rifle. Right after, Neeson disposed of him in the river, the same way, but with the scent suddenly cut off. A helpless Neeson could only turn to his former gangster brother. Through his brother's investigation, the ones Neeson had dealt with were underlings of the local gang leader, and that boss was ruthless with immense power, far beyond what Neeson could handle. But Neeson didn't give up on revenge. He hired a hitman to take down the opponent. But what Neeson never expected was that this professional hitman, after taking a $5,000 deposit, sold the information to the gang leader for $1,000. But what the hitman didn't expect either was that after the ruthless gang boss extracted all the intelligence, he directly had his subordinate close the curtains. Soon enough, the hitman became a corpse. Then, based on the hitman's information, the gang leader found Neeson's brother. To protect his brother, the brother took all the blame for what Neeson had done. The cruel gang leader naturally didn't spare him. News of his brother's death soon reached Neeson. The successive loss of loved ones left Neeson gradually numb. He no longer felt grief or anger. His eyes held only a thirst for revenge.